So now we are going to look at the muscles on your leg. So we'll start with the anterior portion of your thigh. If you see here, you can see three muscles. There's one in the middle, and you can see two bellies on either side. There's one that's below the muscle you saw. This is the other muscle. So we are going to learn the names here. Okay. The whole group we call quadriceps because you have four muscles, four bellies. Like in cases biceps, triceps, you call it by one name, even though it has two bellies and three bellies. Each belly did not have a name. But in this case, if you see, each one is going to have a name. Each one is like a separate muscle. The whole group is quadriceps. The muscles are your rectus femoris, the one in the middle, because you have femur behind that, inside the bone is femur, right? The rectus femoris. And then the three other muscles start with vastus muscles. Depending on the location, this is my left leg, so this is the medial side. So this is your vastus medialis. On the other side is vastus lateralis, okay, on the lateral side. And in between the medialis and lateralis, this is your vastus intermedius, in between the two. Any color that is not brown, it's a connective tissue, okay, separating the muscle. So you are seeing the connective tissue here, but below that is the muscle, the vastus intermedius. So most of the muscles are separated by connective tissue, or the groups of muscles are separated by connective tissue. So all these grayish areas, they're all connective tissue. Sometimes they have names, okay, but we are focusing mainly on the muscles, okay. Then if you see here, there's one muscle, this is the longest muscle. It has the shape of an S, and it doesn't have a round belly. It's not thick, it's kind of flat, okay. They call this sartorius. So it goes across your thigh, starting from the lateral to the medial side, okay, sartorius. Then if you turn around to the medial side, exactly the middle, not middle, the medial side of your leg. So here you can see gracilis. This is your gracilis. And then if you see on the side of your sartorius, you can see the adductor muscles. There are two muscles. One is your adductor longus, and the other one is adductor magnus. Adductor magnus is bigger and wider. Adductor longus will be much longer than the other one. So that's for the anterior view of the thigh. Let's go back to the posterior view of the thigh. So you can turn to the page in your book, so you can look up the muscles. The whole group of muscles on the posterior side of your thigh, what do we call? Hamstring muscles, right? How many are there in that group? Three. They have highlighted for you, right? So you have the biceps femoris, starting from the lateral to the medial side. On the lateralmost side, you have the biceps femoris, the big one, followed by semitendinosus, and there is a third one that's very thin compared to the other two, and you'll assume it's part of the second muscle, but that's a separate muscle. You'll see a number. That's your semimembranosus. Okay, so let me repeat. The hamstring group, lateral to the medial, you have biceps femoris, semitendinosus, and the thin one is your semimembranosus. And above the hamstring muscles, here you have the gluteus muscles. There are three gluteus muscles. This is your gluteal region. The big one is gluteus maximus. You can take it off, and before you take it off, you can see a muscle underneath. That's your gluteus medius. Gluteus medius. You can see it better now. And the minimus is even deeper. You cannot see in this view. So gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus. And then coming down to the lower leg, can see here one muscle that goes into your digits. So like the extensor digitorum on your hand, this is for your toes. The extensor digitorum, that's a landmark. And on either side, depending on the bone, here you can see the tibia. This is the medial side, so you can see the tibia. That's your tibialis muscle, tibialis anterior. And on the back, they call it tibialis posterior. And the same way, if you turn around on the side where you have the fibula, you can see the fibula here, the projection of the process of the fibula. And that's your fibularis muscle. You have a fibularis longus and brevis, two muscles. And then if you look at the posterior view of the lower portion of your leg, you have the calf muscle. Calf muscle is your gastrocnemius, C silent, gastrocnemius. And below the gastrocnemius, if you look carefully, there is a muscle hiding behind that, that's soleus, S-O-L-E-U-S. The calf muscle gastrocnemius has a medial and lateral head depending on the orientation. So whenever you have more than one belly, usually they call it a long or short head of that muscle if it is long and short, or if it's more or less same size, they use the orientation medial or lateral.